Hi, I am Vishal from ZöTok, the AI business partner for WhatsApp in India. We enable generative AI on your WhatsApp business number, which allows your customers, right from your distributors, retailers, even end customers, to ask and get replies on all product information, SKUs, warranty, returns, whatnot, to all the way into pricing schemes, which are very specific to each retailer different. You may have a different price in Tamil Nadu, different price in Gujarat, and so on and so forth. Allow them to place an order end to end on WhatsApp, seeing the entire catalog, images, and so on and so forth. These orders fly to the mapped distributor or the salesman in that pin code. These distributors could also send across the invoice, or we can integrate with the DMS or the SFA tool that you have to send invoices, ledgers, payment reminders, collect payments, and answer all those varied questions. Let's see the product in action and then cover those kind of items. Let's start with the buyer's journey. Each brand will have their own official brand account number, which will be on the WABA number, on which you'll be getting all the messages from different customers. Now the first part here is the brand would typically be doing outbound campaigns, like here what you are seeing per se. A lot of our 150 brands are also sending their existing Facebook, Instagram traffic to this particular WhatsApp number instead of sending it to the e-commerce website or the official website or even on the app, simply because it's not just sending a message. I want to encourage a conversation. So now here is asking for more details. I'm able to send across the catalog images. I can send across some prices. If there are some schemes, 25 years, then we are communicating the first part. So that is the first part of the story. The second part here is that just because you have sent an information, the customer is bound to ask questions. So now the campaign needs to conversations to questions, which is about, he is asking about what is the cost of carrot seeds, gajar ka 30 kilo ka kya rate padega. Yeah, suddenly is changing its context to what is the Telangana ka distributor kaun hai. So now in whichever way the customer is going in, you cannot predict what is the customer going to ask next, because he may come from a very different context. Here if you see something from it's a spice brand, he wants to speak to Hindi, and then he suddenly asks biryani masala ka distributor price kitna hai, MRP margin kitna hai. The point here is that no amount of workflow, if then else, can give you this kind of a generative AI experience in a multilingual part to convert a conversation. He's asking modern trade mein kahan bechte hain, which are the modern trade guys, what are the return delivery policies that you have, and so on and so forth. So from our perspective, the first objective here is that whatever the brand distributor conversation has to be, whatever brand retailer conversation has to be, we should be able to communicate an answer from English to Assamese, from Hindi to Telugu. Number one. This conversation leads to engagement. Engagement leads to inquiry. Here he wants to become a distributor. Somebody wants to place an order, and hence so on and so forth. The next part of the story comes that, okay, he doesn't want to just see one information. He wants to see the entire catalog. The catalog could be for as products, as we said. There could be images, as we talked about. The catalog could be for a particular product. I don't need these items. Do you have mutton masala pe koi offer hai kya? Now these offers, that 10% discount, 15% discount, these schemes can be set up in ZöTok directly. You don't need a different ERP integration, but if you have an SAP or some scheme management tool, we can integrate quickly. This entire product is also designed for what we call as a sales and marketing agent, because it is meant to upsell. So the moment he is asking for 40 packets, it is saying, why don't you order 50 packets? On the marketing side, the customer is personalized to that buyer behavior. Whatever the buyer is looking for, we are providing very sharp, specific information which no feet on street 25,000 rupees sales guy can explain. This leads to the next part of the story that, okay, I like whatever you are talking about. I saw the catalog. I want to place an order. This order could be written on a piece of paper. The order could be on voice note. In fact, we also allow catalog kind of ordering. Let me see if I can find something. Yeah. In which we allow the product or whatever the categorization what you do in e-commerce. Not only I show the products, images, but also the schemes that are going on that product. This scheme is specific to that distributor, to that retailer, to that region, and might be limited time and all. All of this marketing communications, all of these schemes can be communicated directly on this cart behaving part. And whatever is the categories there you're looking at. Going back to the flow that we saw here, the customer sent a piece of paper, placed an order. We are able to convert that into a piece of paper on which he can confirm, he can edit, he can confirm the checkout. The moment he checks out the cart, first step, we give them an order confirmation. This is the price, this is the rate, this is the discount, and so on and so forth. As I said earlier, this order flies on WhatsApp to the mapped distributor and the sales team of that pin code or whatever area that you have defined. This distributor may make a phone call, might do a availability issue, or might have a price negotiation further. He might give a cash discount. Whatever is the final estimate, they negotiate and send that as a proof of purchase or proof of order to the customer. Next part of it, the customer can himself see what was the confirmed order and all of that. If there is an issue with the order, he can do a ticket management cycle, all of that on WhatsApp. Comes the next part, which is whereupon the invoicing is being done by the distributor or whoever is the fulfilling agent. The invoice could be done on a piece of paper or could be done on SAP or a DMS or a Salesforce tool, whichever are the piece you are looking at. For us, we have a fairly agile integration tool. We call it a ZoSync as a framework. Basically, the invoice is just residing in a shared folder on AWS. We use it, and then we know who this distributor has sent this invoice for, what is the date of the invoice, what was the order, and so on and so forth. In fact, if there are details on the invoice about the driver's phone number or the lorry receipt number, e-way bill number, all of those can be put together and sent across on the same document. Push it further, if there is a due date on it, I can send across a payment reminder on that particular date to that particular retailer. If the retailer wants to make a payment, the entire flow comes to the next side. He wants to make a payment through a payment advice. I can send a QR, I can send a bank detail for that particular map distributor. You can see is outstanding. He may ask for the ledger. Whatever back and forth question answers that have to happen, the GenAI Ops tool comes into picture and solves it. We talked about sales, marketing, and now in the ops part of it, even receiving payments. Customer has made the payment on a piece of paper. I payment through a cash or through UPI or through RTGS. Doesn't matter. We are able to parse that image, give the bank transaction details, give the UPI details, so that your reconciliation becomes much easier. Down the road, if you have to, the suspense account gets disappeared. In short, we talked about how your upper funnel, whether from Facebook, Instagram, or through a direct, you go to a conference and put together your QR, you direct that conversation on your official WhatsApp number. Once the conversations are happening on WhatsApp, much more engagement leads to inquiries to orders. Number one. Second, your entire ordering cycle, whether your salesman wants to place an order, whether the customer wants to place an order, is available end to end on WhatsApp. So whether it's the pricing, whether it's the schemes, all of that being communicated centrally. Last part of it, I want to collect secondary sales data. I want to collect what's the order invoice done. I want to know whether the delivery happened or not. This entire flow, 150 brands working with at least 1 lakh plus retailer are doing it on a daily basis. We have seen this entire product driving at least 5 to 15% higher retailer reach. So the same salesperson who was managing maybe 1,000 retailers in a month is now using Pareto of using ZöTok. Wherever it's a very large retailer, I will go every week. For those retailers which I can go once in 2 weeks, once in 4 weeks, or it's a rural one where the cost to reach is very high, people are using this kind of a product or WhatsApp based route to market for your indirect channels.